Hello, non-sports fans. My name's John, and that is Brett's daughter, Carly. With Brett.
Hey.
Brett's been behind her the whole way, which is really great. Super supportive dad. So this is Sports Poser, the show for people that don't know anything about sports, that don't want to miss out on those Monday morning conversations. And we're actually recording on a Monday morning, which is pretty exciting. That's 2 weeks in a row. So life is good. Brett's a little sleepy, apparently. All right. So, Brett, why don't we start with the NHL? So we can probably move that pretty quick. And I'm mourning the loss of our Avs. I'm glad I didn't buy a jersey.
Yeah, your Av lost to the Seattle Kraken. What a cool name, huh?
Yeah.
I think they would have won, but the Kraken.
Butt Kraken? What did you say? All right.
And speaking of big losses, the Boston Bruins, who have the best record in the history of the most wins in the history of the NHL, lost in the first round. Boston fans are crying.
That's rough. That's really rough.
That is tough.
So I took a quick browse of who's in it, and a lot of Southern teams, Brett.
Well, John, it's not hockey country here in Raleigh, but I can tell you it is country hockey.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, that is weird seeing like Las Vegas and Nashville's not in it, but Raleigh's got an unbelievable team. They're ranked really high, and they're one of the favorites to win it all. So, and then you got your Toronto Maple Leafs. What did you told me this morning? What was it?
Yes, and another podcast, a motocross podcast, of course. I learned that the Toronto Maple Leafs had not made it through the first round of the playoffs since 2004. And they've lost like 6 in a row.
Seven.
So in the first round, 7 in a row in the first. So that's pretty crazy.
It's impressive that they made it 7 times in a row in the playoffs, but it's more depressive that they would lose 7 times in a row. But they finally won a series, and they're trying to win a Stanley Cup for the first time since 1967 as one of the oldest hockey franchises. That town is a huge hockey town, obviously Toronto. So I never root for the Canadians. I just don't.
It's the right way to be.
Yeah, I'm American, so no need for Toronto to do well. So go, as they say here in Raleigh, go Canes.
Go Canes. Excellent. It's amazing to me. All right. So anything else that's interesting about it? Who do you got in the NHL?
I'm going to go with the Hurricanes. I think they're just playing good hockey. Like I said, it's hockey country here. So
yeah, it is now.
It's country hockey. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. It's easy to get it messed up.
All right.
Yeah.
NBA. What's going on?
So last night I was at my mother-in-law's hanging out with not a lot to do. So I watched the entire Warriors game, and Steph Curry was the first player in the history of the NBA to score 50 points in a game 7. So they played 7 games, best out of 7 at 50. He shot 38 times. He basically took over the game and to reach the finals, to the semifinals against the Lakers, like I predicted would happen. So now you've got Steph Curry versus LeBron James. It's going to be massive hype. Starts Tuesday night. It's probably going to possibly define who people think is the better player all time, which I think it's LeBron, but Curry wins another ring, and he just the way he makes everything. He's just like, it doesn't matter. He just makes shots from everywhere. It's kind of crazy. It's changed the game. He's changed the game. That's how you know he's really good, when a player changes the game.
Yeah, you never hear about him off court. You hear a lot about LeBron off court, but you never hear about Curry off court.
No, he's not very controversial. He just does his thing. And I saw him at that in a golf outing in Tahoe last year, and he just seems like a really laid back guy, and people like him, and he's just really good. He's he makes everything he shoots, so it's hard to defend that team because they got a bunch of other good players that can shoot too. So if you worry just about him, somebody else makes it. So that series is going to be really good.
Yeah. So I was looking down the brackets, and I noticed that Philly plays Boston, which could be a volatile game. It seems like that's a pretty long-standing rivalry. Is that fair?
Yeah. When we were kids, in the 1980s, Boston played the Sixers all the time, Celtic Sixers all the time. It was Dr. J versus Larry Bird.
Yeah,
and it was a battle. So those East Coast teams typically play a lot rougher basketball than out West, because East Coast people are just tougher than West Coast people.
Totally. It's all that sunshine. It spoils them.
Made you soft.
Very good. What else we got going on? Wasn't there some type of draft going on in the past weekend?
Yeah, last week, this weekend, everybody, all the NFL teams drafted players. So the worst team gets the number one pick. So the team that finished 32 out of 32 pick gets the number one pick. And there's some trades and stuff, but every team tries to improve their roster by selecting a quarterback or whatever they need. So that was a pretty interesting draft. A lot of quarterbacks taken. Not anything really spectacular to talk about. You don't really know until they get on the field and see how they play. But definitely bring in new talent and like a good team like the Eagles, who made the Super Bowl last year, picked a bunch of defensive players. So sometimes good teams get better and crappy teams get better, and some just don't get better at all.
Yeah, well, you talked a lot about during the season about how critical strong quarterbacks are and what a different approach to the game we have now. So it makes sense that people would be going after young athletes.
Yeah, everybody's taking a shot at getting their franchise quarterback. So, did you know Will Levis from Kentucky? He was a projected to be possibly a top pick. He's like really big, muscular quarterback, and he's from our hometown of Madison, Connecticut.
Is he really? I did not.
He got drafted 33rd, so he's gonna have a chip on his shoulder where he felt like he should have. Because the lower you go, the less money you get. The number one pick in the draft gets a lot of money. The 33 pick doesn't get anywhere near as much. So he's going to have a lot to prove. And so I kind of like guys like that get snubbed, like Tom Brady got picked. What was it, like the 7th round or some shit? And he never stopped complaining about that. And he had a chip on his shoulder for 20 years over that. So that can really help spur on some effort and some good play from these guys who feel like they didn't get picked.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of guys that earn the money. I think they work harder.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Well, that was a pretty fast run through, which is good for us because we can get a little wordy sometimes.
Absolutely.
So, snack of the week? Snack of the week. What do we got?
Well, certainly Italian people, I'm Italian, have a go-to place to go on weekends with their partner, right?
Yeah.
And mine is a place called Farina down the road, and they serve a very wonderful meatball pizza.
It's snowing.
It's got a lot of Parmesan. Parmesan is Italian salt, by the way. So you can't have enough on there. And that's really not that important, really. I mean, this isn't a snack of the week, but what is really important is, and my wife found this, and I saw an ad for this, and I wanted it. So, I mean, are you kidding me?
Strawberries and cream Dr. Pepper.
What the hell is that? By the way, 250 calories.
Wow.
I think that probably has more calories than the pizza, but
it's probably dead even. Yeah.
If you cannot go wrong with that right there. If you don't like this, I
might argue that. Yeah.
You're dead to me if you turn this away. Unless you're gluten-free like my wife, then I understand.
Strawberries and cream. So it's date night soda is what you're saying.
Strawberries and cream you want to go ahead and make that dirty if you want to, but I'm not going to do it.
No, I didn't say anything like that.
Oh, okay. I was. Sorry.
I know you were. Very good. All right, Brett. Thanks for sharing. Maybe oversharing.
It's too early to eat this. I kind of want it though.
It's never too early to eat cold pizza, brother. Doesn't happen. I thought you were Italian. Or a strawberries and cream soda for breakfast.
That is actually too early for that.
Yeah, I would go with that. All right, my friend. Have a great weekend. Hopefully we'll have some good action to talk about next Monday.
I have no doubts we will.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Brett's daughter. Bye-bye.
Hi.
Hey, Carly. You're huge.
That's not what you say to a woman.
I mean, you have a big presence.